it's different over here. Everybody see this, they see that. When you get in the ring with me, you can ask anybody that stepped in the ring, whether it was sparring or fighting. They never been the same. They sparred me or fought me. They'll tell you.
Welcome to BodyWork. Welcome back. It's Michael Rogers. Welcome to BodyWorkBoxing. I didn't realize how excited I was about this weekend until I really started putting a whole bunch of pieces together. The boxing streets, the conversation around it has been so weird here lately. I swear a whole fan base has morphed and got behind a whole different fighter, and that same energy is popping up. And part of it has been a lot of people out here shaming boxing junkies about wanting to see violence. Newsflash: Jaron Ennis is defending his title, his IBF strap, welterweight strap, against David Avanesyan in his own hometown. And we can expect violence. Because, I mean, it's getting so weird. I just want to be able to see some fights. The undercard, like, there's a couple good fights between this and another thing that's going on. I'll disclose that in another video or live or something. We can get what we want. Yes, like, we will not be starved of action. We will actually get all that in a bag of chips. And I had to point out a few things about this fight. One, it's Boots' time to actually, he's going to have the whole world looking at him. And I think a lot of people don't really realize until it's all said and done or it's over with, they become hindsight is 20/20, if you allow me to use a word. And they'll actually see the importance of these moments after the fight is done. There's a couple champions that got upset here recently. Couple boogeymen and lost on the same night. Weird, strange people saying this is the year of the upset. But I think Boots been chopping at the bit. I think that he has one of the best slogans aside from the talented Mr. David Morrell. And Boots' new slogan, or the slogan I just kept hearing him say, is "Shut up and rumble." Being asked all these questions about life, his whole thing is, listen, I'm quiet, I stay off the internet, I don't be listening, he was looking at people like, what, who said what? Either he was doing an excellent job acting, or he was really being truthful about how he is. He stays off of social media. He telling people to just shut up and rumble. And I think that's what we're gonna get. Why? When I look at David Avanesyan, he has 31 fights, 18 knockouts, 4 losses, and he got knocked out twice. That's the part that actually concerns me about him. He got sparked twice. One by Igor Kalvanakis in 2018, and then 4 years later, technically, but really close to almost 5 years, 3 months shy of 5 years later, he got sparked by Terrence Bud Crawford. I'm talking about spark. And he shared the ring with a lot of names. He had Lamont Peterson on there. He had Shane Mosley on there. They say that he was responsible for putting the end to Josh Kelly and the hype around him. Again, Green Machine, who shared the ring with Bud as well. And he's been, he's a name, and that's what Bozy was really putting everything in. But I'm thinking that, listen, you got a young, hungry lion in his own backyard. He's been somewhat held back for many various different reasons, but everybody was looking at him like, man, he's so offensively gifted. When is he going to take off? When is going to be his ascension? He got over there with Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn put him right in his backyard. You're starting to hear more and more about him. You're starting to see more and more about him, and he's starting to bubble. The only smudge people say, if it even is a smudge, and I think a lot of people make more out of it than what it really was, it was just a real honest assessment, was the fight against Karen Chukajazin. And that was when they were saying he couldn't cut the ring off. He himself came out and admitted, say, listen, man, I was pressing for the knockout too much. Did a video about it right afterwards, because a lot of his fans, a lot of people that were just giving an assessment caught a lot of backlash. So he had a lot of time to think, and he said, listen, I'm just going to allow the knockout to come to me. With knowing the offensive tools and the weaponry that he actually has, what he's actually capable of. And then when we look at the size and the height advantage, even though, you know, like Coach Kenny say, height don't fight. The man has is 5'8" to 5'10". He got the 2-inch height, and he got him by more than 6 inches in reach. 68 and 74-inch reach. You know, he was good at basketball. He has range. He has, my favorite punch that he throws is from the orthodox stance, that left uppercut from long range, and he's very, very accurate with it while maintaining some level of cover while he throws it. So, you know, he can throw it out real fast. That's probably the best punch I see, or just a straight uppercut, which there's a lot of favorite punches for a lot of different people in their boxing. But what I see in this fight is we're going to get everything that we've been waiting for. They were saying they trying to stop it. They trying to, you know, contain it before 4 rounds. You know, I'm like, wow. So, you know, this is the second time I've seen Bozy, and I think it's because, you know, maybe it's the feeling of being in your own backyard, and then, you know, seeing your young man just come up and he's rising, and this is his moment. But Bozy seemed like, man, Bozy looked like he in shape. Last time with Cody Crowdy and his management, they was getting ready to do the thing. You know, Bozy wasn't playing, but he's hyped. All this energy, and it's a lot of pressure. But I think it's the kind of pressure that Boots need. Why? Because this weekend, a lot of people wasn't thinking that there was a lot going on this week. You know, other than the Boots only fans, they knew what was coming up, and, you know, people in the area, people support them, know what was going on. But I think that boxing fans, boxing junkies, are going to get their fix. Oh yeah, it's going to be some violence in Philly. Not just there, but on the undercard, all over the place. I think that this weekend for them in that card that's going down, and the type of energy you're going to see in there, it's going to be electric. And I think he's going to show up. So I expect Avanesyan to get his lights put out. No offense, he is veteran savvy. He might be able to find a way to survive. You know, if Boots allows him to do the same thing that Karan did, then maybe, but I doubt it. I think he learned from that. I think that was a lesson, you know, on that fight, because that was on the Tank undercard, I believe, on that one. You know, but man, I'm excited for this fight. And I think that I had it 5 or 6. I had it the 5th or 6th round. No more than half. You know, and I don't think anybody's gonna get shamed or be shamed for wanting to see, you know, their pound of flesh or that knockout, because that's just like baseball. People watch baseball to see people smack home runs. People watch football to see people score touchdowns, not kick field goals. In boxing, fans watch to see violence and see knockouts. Now, it may be a time where you can hit and not get hit. That's the name of the game. Protect your cranium at all times. Protect yourself at all times, because we know that you can go in and leave in a different way, or you can go in and never leave. And nobody really wants that. That's just how violent this sport is. And this is why people actually watch, for the energy that people like Boots bring, because they know that he's an offensive specimen. You know, can David Avanesyan get out of the shadow of what happened to him by Bud? Because he was still bringing up the gloves. I ain't going to touch on that. I'm going to digress, but, you know, I think we're going to get everything we need. What do you think about this fight? I think it's a sneaky good fight. I think the sleeper card, the undercard, Major Jalil Hacket, we already seen violence in that with him and Pete Dobson. You know, it's already some real bad blood, because Pete Dobson, you know, he's coming off like the veteran, and, you know, and Jalil is saying, listen, okay, cool, we're going to talk inside the ring. So I think that's going to probably kick it off. I know Major Jalil Hacket, I know that he's going to get busy in there. Pete Dobb, he got something to prove. So I think that, man, we in for a treat on Saturday, man. And not just this one, but some other ones. But out of respect for this video, man, I'm excited for Boots. I hope he can seize the moment and that he can capture even more fans and he can blossom into something else, because going to Philly, which is right up the street for me, man, I would love to be going back and forth up there, seeing more and more fights as the competition rise. So, you know, hopefully Eddie put on a good show. They show up, they show out, you know, Boots get the job done, or Avanesyan pull the upset. Either way, boxing fans are in for a treat. Holla at me in my comment section if you get a chance. Talk to me, I'll talk back. Thanks for tuning in here with BodyWorkBoxing. But we don't take things for face value. We do that body work.